Believe it or not, the Galaxy Z Flip 5 is going to be the most exciting phone of this whole year, literally. But we still don't know a lot of things yet. Well, display supply chain consultant Ross Young actually said something really interesting. Well, Z Flip 5 color options are gonna be like this: the beige, gray, light green, and light pink. These are the higher volume colors, means you're gonna get it everywhere. But there are gonna be some exclusive colors like blue, green, platinum, and yellow. The most interesting ones are the platinum and yellow. Now, that doesn't mean there is not gonna be bespoke color edition for the Galaxy Z Flip 5, because this has been a thing since the last couple of Galaxy Z Flip devices. It's mostly because that's where you can actually customize the panels, each back panels of the Galaxy Z Flip 5. But here's the thing, these color options that we are talking about, the blue, green, platinum, and yellow, these might even be Samsung.com exclusive, but these are going to be pretty much in small quantities. But that's not where it ends though. There is another thing. You probably know the fact that the Galaxy Z Flip 5 will have slightly smaller dimension compared to the Galaxy Z Flip 4. Now, it is not something that you will be able to notice immediately, but there is going to be a slightly smaller dimension. And it's mostly because maybe the thickness of the bezels on the screen are going to be much more smaller, and because they're keeping the same 6.7-inch panel, so definitely the dimension is going to be slightly more smaller. They're also using a new hinge. I will come back to that. Because of all this reason, and it will be slightly more thinner device, the Galaxy Z Flip 5 is still expected to have almost the same battery capacity as the Z Flip 4, or even lesser than that. Now, if you don't know, the Galaxy Z Flip 4 actually has two different batteries in two halves of the phone. One with rated capacity of 2555 mAh battery, and the other one is actually 1040, and in total that becomes 3595 mAh battery, which is a rated battery capacity. And the typical battery capacity is actually 3700. Now, the Z Flip 5 meanwhile is all but guaranteed to bump up the size of the larger cell to 2620 and shrink the smaller battery capacity to 971 mAh for a combined capacity of 3591 mAh. Now, this is still again rated battery capacity. So overall, it is still slightly lower than the Galaxy Z Flip 4, but nothing that significantly low. So definitely in the marketing materials and everywhere else, you will see it as 3700 mAh. Now, it is still going to be unfair to say anything about the real life battery thing, but looking at the chipset, it seems like Samsung is actually betting on that instead of a raw battery capacity. What I mean by that is that the Galaxy Z Fold 5 and the Z Flip 5 will actually come with the same Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy that is powering the latest Galaxy S23 series. The chipset, being even that powerful, is still crazy efficient that it provides a much more bigger battery life to the Galaxy S23 Ultra, even having the same battery capacity as the S22 Ultra. That's the only reason why you and me can expect the similar kind of thing on the Galaxy Z Flip 5. Now, the battery capacity not increasing might sound really bad for most people, but you have to keep this in mind that this phone is still a much more smaller phone, because there is a certain part of the phone that is only dedicated for the hinge mechanism, and that takes up a lot of space. Plus, this year, you're not getting just a 1.9-inch cover panel, but rather you're getting a 3.4-inch folded look-like cover screen. That is insanely big compared to the smaller tiny cover screen of the Z Flip 4. So that also takes up a lot more space on the top part of the phone. That's why we have smaller battery capacity at the top part of the phone, like the secondary battery capacity. Now, talking about the cover screen, Samsung is also developing a new way of doing stuff on the cover screen. It will not just be widgets, and that's what we are hearing from many sources. Now, one more thing is that there is still 12 megapixel cameras, two 12 megapixel cameras. There is no teleporter camera, but the arrangement has changed, and mostly because of the folder-like cover screen. And we are hearing that sensors are changed as well, but they're still gonna be 12 megapixel units. The front-facing camera, the 10 megapixel cover screen front-facing camera, hasn't changed at all. It's still the same as the first generation flip phone. Now, another thing we're hearing is that inside the phone, the crease will be much less visible, and that is actually thanks to a proven hinge, which is a water drop shape hinge. that allows the display to fold inside the hinge in a way that creates a shape like water drop. Plus, it will make the phone much more thinner when the phone is actually closed, because there is not going to be any more gap between the two halves of the phone. So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this whole cover screen thing, or the battery, or even the color options? And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website. A link down below. Until the next one, bye and take care.